All right. Peace and love, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please like and subscribe. And I am your host this lovely evening, Queen Tamara of Astro Healing Arts Wellness Center. And I want to say welcome, and peace to each and every one of you out there in YouTube land watching this evening on this beautiful Monday, 9/22. And today is the first official day of the fall season, fall or autumn, and the equinox was earlier this afternoon. So, with that said, and it's a new moon as well, I want to say, here's to new beginnings and new seasons and new changes to everyone out there. I hope all is well. Um, I've been undergoing a lot of changes myself and traveling, excuse me, quite a bit recently, which I am ever so grateful and thankful for the opportunity to travel. Um, Traveling is, I would say, one of my interests, and I just enjoy the experience of adventure, going new places, meeting new people, and experiencing things. There's so much to see on our lovely planet. It really is, and there's just so much to experience and to absorb and to take in, and so many new exciting and wonderful people to meet, as well as just going different places. Each place that I visit in the planet holds its own unique space and its own unique energy, and you wouldn't be able to experience a lot of that unless you actually physically go there yourself to experience it. And I think that is just one of the great blessings in traveling, is just to see all the different expressions um, of life and the different manifestations of life here on our planet, which is very unique and very special place. So I enjoyed that, and I am looking forward to tonight's topic because it's something that is really resonating with me at the moment, and something that I can um, physically and energetically relate to as I share that experience with you all. So, beginnings, life is a dynamic cycle of lessons, blessings, and resurrections. So, it's the cycles of birth and rebirth constantly. Um, I've recently had an experience where I was in a space that was very uncomfortable. And despite all of my efforts at getting out of this uncomfortable space, it wasn't happening for me in the way that I planned or wanted. And so, pulling into my medicine woman trick bag, if you will, for lack of a better term, I still wasn't getting the results that I was looking for. And then finally, I had a long awaited experience that I had been planning for years. And, it's true when they say everything happens in divine timing. And so when the timing was right, and it was, and the opportunity that had been I had been waiting for a long time finally um, manifested itself or came to fruition. It was just a spontaneous healing experience for me. And not only was it so healing, it just transformational is the word that comes to mind. I can't think of anything else to describe it but transformational. So, I know that life has been a series of um, transformational experiences and along our journey, and each one is unique and it's in and of itself. But the time period that we're living in now we can expect to have spiritual experiences happen in a much grander scale, a much more excuse me, much on a much deeper level, just because of the ascension process that we're going through. And as we go through that, our experiences also go through an extension process. And so how we experience some transformative change years ago, you can't compare it to now. And you can't even compare what's happening now to what's going to happen in the future to our future selves. So, all of this is a part of our journey, a part of our growth, is just coming to us in new and exciting ways that you could only imagine and experience. So, like I said a few minutes ago, life is definitely a dynamic cycle of lessons and blessings, and um, endless cycles of birth and rebirth constantly. And it's cyclical and not linear. So it's just constant birth and rebirth, constant birth and rebirth. You can also look at it as also a graduation, if you will, a graduation of going from one level to another, or ascending from one level to another, one level of self mastery to another level of self mastery. And once you've completed one, it's only um, it's only going up from there. And so, the lessons start to change, the experiences change, and you will have different characters in your life's journey, different places, different experiences, but it's all part of the divine scheme of things. A lot of times, we get so caught up and overwhelmed and preoccupied with the challenges that we're facing, and we are not aware that these challenges are helping us. They're the training ground for our future selves. We may not be aware of that at the moment, and just I want you to know of a surety that all of the experiences that you're having, they're not in vain, and they have a purpose in your life. And that purpose is to prepare you for something else. And it always also, the purpose, it could be to show you what aspect of your life is in need of healing or changing. Life, this journey that we call life, is very much like the analogy of the onion. You know how you peel the outer skin of the onion, and you get closer to the center, the onion gets stronger and more pungent, more fragrant. Well, our cells are much like that, like layers of an onion. We peel back layers of our old cells to reveal new, exciting, and aspects of ourselves that we may not be aware of. And you know, as you shed those outer layers, you reveal a new person, a new you. New aspects of yourself. The new self can only emerge from the shedding of the old. And sometimes when we're going through challenges or facing things, we don't recognize that this is a type of shedding that's taking place. An old aspect of ourselves that no longer serves us is coming to an end. An old behavior system, an old pattern of beliefs, and an old way of managing certain things. We may be stuck doing things a certain way, and we can't seem to get out of that. And then as you shed those layers of yourself, you start to see, oh, I was still using an old outdated method to handle certain new experiences, and the new experiences or the new challenges is calling for a new part of myself, or a new way, a new approach. And we can't approach the new with the old belief system and with the old mind and with the old habits. So as we shed the old cells, we release those old cells. Look at it as a releasing, as we give birth to the new version of ourselves, which, as you peel back the layers in the onion, you're actually revealing the new you, or giving birth to the new you. All our life experiences are blessings and all part of the grander scheme of things. All is divine. Somebody told me that the other day, and I needed that reminder. All is divine. The good, the bad, and the ugly is all a part of the grand scheme of things. It's all part of your journey. You remember, you are the hero of your life's journey, and that includes all of it. All of it. um, is part of your hero's journey. So the painful moments, the triumphs, the lessons, the painful ones as well as the not so painful ones, all of this is part of the journey that you call life. This is your hero story. So right now we are at a very important cosmic time. The fall equinox began today. It's a time of shedding, releasing, preparing for the upcoming longest night, as we move closer and closer to the winter solstice. We're also in a cycle of a new moon. And we just had, if I'm not mistaken, I think on the 21st, we had an eclipse. And all of these cosmic energies can help us prepare for this upcoming season of change. Um, the fall season is a great time for reflection, a time for going within. It's also a season of abundance, abundance from the things that were planted in the spring and the summer. They start to harvest late summer, early fall season. So there's a lot of harvesting of certain crops that's taking place right now. And so this is a season of abundance, of harvesting, um, harvesting what we sowed months ago, and just the time for deeper reflection and going within as things start to slow down and the days start to get shorter in this part of the earth. So we're preparing for all of that. And this is a new beginning for many people. They look at the fall season and the equinox as a time of new beginning or setting new things in motion. New chapters are beginning when the previous ones end. So the analogy of the layers being peeled back in the onion is also a time of releasing the old to make room for the new chapters that are emerging in our lives. And the only way we can make room for those new chapters is if we shed the old outdated way of doing things. And you don't always have to give up every old aspect of yourself, um, but you'll know when it's time to let certain behaviors or certain belief systems or certain lifestyles no longer serve you. As you emerge and come out of your cocoon and start to spread your wings as the new butterfly, some things can't go along with you, some things cannot. Your life as the caterpillar is no more. You went from that existence and you transformed into something bigger, better, greater, um, a newer, higher form of yourself. Okay, although you may still have some of the characteristics of the caterpillar, but you're no longer that caterpillar. You are the butterfly now. And that's a whole new existence. That's a whole new life form. A whole new transformation has taken place within you. And so, with that transformation, some things you just cannot carry from your caterpillar life into the butterfly life, because you're no longer crawling around. You're spreading your wings and you're flying now. You can take flight. You can do so many things that you could not do when you were in your caterpillar state, and vice versa. And we have a guest in the comment section. Dia, hi, honey. Thank you for joining this evening. So, as you become this new version of yourself, this new transformed version of yourself, you have to remember that, as you shed the old and make room for the new, a lot of stuff, you also have to shed certain things about you that you may have been holding on to out of fear, out of comfort, may no longer serve you. And it served its time, and it's don't look at it as something you're so quick and eager to let go of. Just look at it no longer serves you. You outgrew it. So it's now time to move forward and expand and embrace the new side of your life. Resurrection is something else that also happens while we live. As you awaken your divine self and your hero's journey, you are awakening a higher state of consciousness within you. And so, with that higher state of consciousness, you are actually resurrecting that divine part of yourself. So, look at it as you making your ascension process while you live. You don't have to experience a physical death in order to experience resurrection. You can have that while you live, as you begin to awaken, your avatar state, as you come into this higher transformative experience of yourself. You're awakening your avatar state. The sleep spell is over and you're becoming this new, this resurrected being, if you will, the hero of your life's story or your life's journey, which is where the origin of the where hero comes from, the word heru. And if you study the story, you will have a greater understanding of what I mean by having enjoying the resurrection while you live, because you will go from one state of existence into another higher state, which is what new beginnings are all about. So I a lot of times when I share these lives with people, when I share with the public, people will tell me later that something really resonated with them or made a lot of sense with them to them, and it was in alignment with what they're going through. And a lot of times, sometimes when I catch other people's lives, I notice the same thing. They're talking about something, and it's exactly what I was thinking or going through or experiencing. And they just put my they put the experience into words. So I would love, love, love to hear from you all out there. If you could share with me what exciting things are happening on the horizon for you this fall season. I would love to hear what your summer was like and what exciting, transformative activities and experiences you're having. Please share them with me. I hope this was very helpful and useful to each and every one of you. And I look forward to our next session together. We all are healing on this journey. It's an exciting time to be alive for all of us. This healing we're on is enabling us to handle more joy and accept happiness and peace into our lives. As we heal and transform, we will be experiencing so much more that life has to offer as we merge our human selves with our divine selves. And with that said, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your equinox evening. Have a great and peaceful week, and love, peace, and prosperity, good health, and healing to you all. Peace and love.